Have you ever been to a really fancy dinner? You know the kind where a server comes to your table with this huge, gleaming platter of food and serves you right there? Well, what you are experiencing is a classic style of dining called silver service. It's elegant, it's got a ton of history, but a lot of people don't really know what it's all about. So let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to talk about one of the most confusing parts of this whole thing, its name. Because as it turns out, what you call it isn't quite as simple as you might think.
So, what's the deal? Is it Russian service or is it French service? You've probably heard both terms thrown around, and if you have, you're not going crazy. The real answer is a little bit of a geographical puzzle.
And here it is. It literally depends on where you are in the world. If you're dining in France, they'll call this style Russian service. But if you're in the United States, they'll call it French service. But here's the key. They are talking about the exact same thing, which we most commonly know as silver service. It's all about location, location, location.
All right, now that we've got the names sorted out, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this actually work? What are the moves? What should you expect if you're sitting at the table?
At its core, it breaks down into these four main steps. First, the empty plates are placed in front of you. Then comes the main event. The food arrives on a big platter. After that, the server actually dishes the food onto your plate. And finally, the drinks are poured. Sounds simple enough, right? But the way it's done is anything but. And this is where you start to see the incredible precision. Those empty plates, which are either heated or chilled depending on the course, are always placed in a clockwise direction around the table. What's wild is that this is the rule even if the restaurant serves the food itself going anti-clockwise. It's like a carefully rehearsed dance.
So, if we were to put a formal definition on it, this is what it is. It's all about the food being brought out on a platter and served directly onto your plate by a server who's using, you guessed it, silverware, usually a big fork and spoon. That's right there in the name, silver service. Pretty straightforward.
But listen, this is so much more than just carrying food around. It is a genuine skill. It takes training, it takes strength, it takes a whole lot of finesse. The server really is the star of this whole performance.
And this quote right here just hits the nail on the head. Imagine a platter of roast beef comes out. A truly great server won't just ask if you want some. They'll be able to see the different pieces, which ones are rare, which are more well done, and they can actually offer you the exact slice you prefer. Now that's expertise.
Let's just break down the physical challenge for a second. The server is holding a heavy, often blazing hot, platter in their left hand. Then, with the right hand, they're using utensils to delicately serve the food, all while leaning gracefully towards you. And hey, a little pro tip if you ever find yourself in this situation, make up your mind quickly. Trust me, that server is holding a lot of weight and they will absolutely appreciate a fast decision.
Okay, so it sounds like a ton of work, right? So is it worth it? Like any system, silver service has its upsides and, well, its downsides for both the restaurant and for you, the diner. And this really shows you the two sides of the coin. For the restaurant, the big win is that the kitchen controls portion sizes perfectly, which is great for costs and consistency. But the downside? Well, think about being the last person at a big table to be served. By the time that platter gets to you, it might be looking a little sad and picked over, not exactly appetizing. So that brings us to right now. In our modern world of casual eateries and food trucks, where on earth does this incredibly formal, labor-intensive style of service actually fit in? Yeah, you're not going to see this at your local bistro. These days, this style is really saved for very specific places. We're talking very upscale restaurants or maybe the big fancy banqueting halls in grand hotels. It's become less of a standard practice and more of a special occasion, a signal of a certain kind of luxury.
And let's just be honest about it. The fact is, this style of service is just plain out of fashion right now. The whole culture of dining has shifted. We've moved towards more relaxed, informal experiences, which leaves silver service feeling a little like a throwback. And really, this leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. As our dining world gets more and more laid back, is there still a place for this level of formality, this pageantry? Does the art and the skill of silver service still have a future? Or is it just a beautiful relic of an era that's already passed? Definitely something to chew on.